All right, Veronica Sites is an expert on anger management. Veronica, how did you get to be an expert on anger management?
Oh, I would have to confess that it is learning the hard way and realizing that I have absolute control over managing my own results.
Oh, okay. So we got mad in our life, did we? Okay. All right.
On occasion.
What would set your fuse? What would really light the fire?
You know, what lights my fire is, it is simple, but being out of control of my own safety. And when I feel endangered, elicits a reaction, sometimes of fear, but recognizing that fear is just an escalated expression of a threat to my own safety. Once I realized those things, it really changed a lot of things. Of course, I've got a background in counseling, and that's what I do. But,
okay, yeah. But you, would it be in competitive situations?
It can be competitive situations. You know, we want to win. People want to, achieve and succeed. So we become a little bit more aggressive in those circumstances, and sometimes that even happens on the road.
Right. Okay. So road rage, I've heard about. I told Diane before we got you on here, with the best bumper sticker with this I ever saw in L.A. Somebody said, "I'm changing lanes. Cover me." It's scary out there sometimes. I guess. How do we grab hold of this stuff, man? How do we do this? And how high of an incidence do we have? Is it common out there?
Oh, it's very common. We've had over 1,500 road rage-related deaths since 2008. And, that's just exactly related to road rage, that it is a contributor. There's a lot of other deaths that happen on the road that are questionable and, under investigation. But getting on the road and knowing what the end result is that we want is something that we really need to plan and prepare for when we get behind that wheel. We're so connected to our identity, and it is an extension of our home, that sometimes our comfort level, we forget that is a moving vehicle at high speeds that can be a threat to somebody else.
Okay, so I guess first is to identify that you might have a bit of a problem. How would we self-identify that?
Well, we know ourselves, what can set us off, and, recognizing the fact that if we have a temper, those are things that we can be aware of, but the awareness isn't as much a contributor, is to realize, what am I going to do in light of this? I tend to react. If you are hungry and getting in the car and on your way to go get something to eat, know that somebody standing between you and your next meal, if you are hungry, is already your body in a mode of distress. So anything that happens on the road that interferes with that or threatens your safety, the body has already begun to adjust in its blood pressure, adjust in its performance as far as what it's functioning from. Higher performance is going to come from hydration, being well fed.
Yep. Veronica Sites, expert in anger management on the Bricks wood-fired pizza phone line, ESPN and Sunny.
If we see a driver acting aggressively, how do we safely get away?
One of the things is defensive driving is a huge asset to have, but recognize that don't use body language. Refrain from the body language, because anytime we raise our hand, shake a fist, choose selective hand signals.
Are you suggesting somebody says you're number one in the wrong way?
Yeah, they just
don't do that. Don't do it so mean. I very, very rarely hit the horn, but I actually honked at somebody yesterday because they were just really sitting there, and we could have been there for a very, very long time.
Traffic light.
No, it wasn't a light. It was just they were in the wrong lane trying to turn. It was really messing. I hate to even toot the horn, but I just had to say, guys, you got to make a decision here. You got to make a decision. But yeah, you have these situations out there, and you do have to be very careful. Defensive driving, always a good tip.
Yeah. And, it's recognizing when you have to hit that horn, hit the horn. Don't sit on it.
Right. That's what I did.
Like yelling.
You sit on it. It's bad. That's rude. You don't need to sit on anything. Just kind of let them know. Hey, when you are knowing you have a temper, we all have tempers, but when do you know it's a problem temper? When you say your safety is at risk, sometimes you get so blazing mad, it's just really hard to know and judge those things.
Well, when we recognize, it becomes a problem when the reaction then aggresses against the person that has become a threat on the road to you. So if you're feeling like getting out of the car, jumping
Don't
out,
get out of the car.
do something.
No.
Yeah, just stay in the car.
Don't do that. Breathe and just back off just a second. But man, it's something.
You're right. When I Googled this, it talks about situations where, you want to pull over? Yeah, let's pull over.
Don't pull over.
Let's
Bad
pull
idea.
over.
That's a
And
really
everybody
bad
has
idea.
their chest puffed up there,
No.
and oh man, that could be bad.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. Well, Veronica, we got some enlightenment. Are you available somewhere online? People can get hold of you?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm putting up a post on conflictresolutionspeaker.com. There's resources there. I have a new book on how to prevent conflict before it escalates. This is on and off road. So, absolutely.
Keep up your good work. You're helping people.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Veronica Sites in Dallas this morning. ESPN and Sunny.
And tips here about, be prepared and obviously just try to diffuse the situation if you see it coming up. Just take some time, maybe lay back in the speed and let them go on their way.
What helps me, sometimes it helps me if the person going 30 in a 50, if I just think, you know what, that's my mom.